It's half an hour. Either she will be calling you or else you can directly call her.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can start now.
Okay, then. Please share my screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
You're also aware of many of the things. And if you'll refer my document, that also will help you to understand.
Okay.
Can you see my screen, Gana?
I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay, so MDG is nothing but it's a master data governance tool. And why governance we need it? Because before MDG or prior to MDG, we are using ECC tool, where we are directly executing T code and we are creating material, making changes. But when it comes to tracking or audit purpose, it's the visibility is very less, because if you want to check if someone has approved that request or not, that is very difficult. If any even tracking a change request is very difficult in ECC system.
Okay.
Right, to
Yeah.
overcome that, we have the ICP team, they have developed an MDG tool. And
Yeah.
here you will see, you will have a complete transparency with respect to all the change and creation.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can do any master data management, any master, it can use to manage any type of master data, including customers, vendors, materials, finance. And you can do creation and change or modification, whatever you can say, deletion, reactivation, all the activity. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So with respect to implementation, first you need to understand the business, like how the current business is doing, what tool they are using, whether they are using SAP tool only, or whether they are using some non-SAP tool. Based on that, you have to do, it requires a lot of effort. And you have to, club, many different, people like, SD, PP consultant, and you'll have to, you'll have to prepare some, blueprint, like how you're going to implement the current business into SAP, like as is and to be. I believe you are aware of these terminologies, as
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
and to be, how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so by using that you can implement. And SAP, if you're implementing from SAP ECC to MDG, that will be comparatively less, it will take less effort, and it is comparatively easy method to migrate anything from ECC to MDG. And that too, first you need to check if they are using all standard functions and features which are already enabled in SAP or not. And if there are any some customization needed, then that you need to do in MDG directly. For example, in our organization, we are managing business in MDG, like we have
Yeah.
MPY, Coil, different businesses.
Yes.
And based on that, we have a different user, we are assigning roles and different authorization or access. But that business we cannot see in ECC system, because it's not required in ECC. Just to control just to give some control or additional controls in MDG, we are having that fields enable only in MDG system.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That is why we have those custom Z code, Z fields, which we can call it as Z field, that we are enabling MDG only. And based on business requirement, the ABAP team, they can do some coding, and they can enable or disable that respective field in MDG application or UI.
Okay. So here
Okay.
Abapers playing a main role to.
Yeah. Suppose if you want to implement any custom T code customization in MDG.
Okay. Okay.
Customization, for customization, it's ABAP team.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you'll implement MDG, definitely you need some tool or some mechanism to replicate the same into a target system or production system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that to replicate the change, we have IDOC, you can call a functional or feature with its, SAP's inbuilt feature, which can move data from one client to another client.
Okay.
And another tool we have called SOA, some structural architecture. I don't know what exactly I'm complete.
o-
Maybe you can Google. SOA is also another, form of, a data carrier, you can say, which can move data from one client to another. But it is used mainly for finance data, not for other
o-
data. It can be
Okay.
used for, customer and materials as well, but very few organizations they are using, I guess. But mainly many company or organization, they'll use IDOC only to
For interface.
yeah. And if you want to know the T code for IDOC, all the T code which starts with WE are will help you to do some functionality with respect to idocs like W01, W02,
Yeah. Yeah.
W05, 18, 19, 20, 22. These are the T codes.
Okay.
And there is another T code to BD10. I believe you would have used in past, right? BD10.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used. Yeah.
Yeah. So BD10 is nothing but it can push already generated IDOC into another system or target system.
Yeah. 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 I know this.
Yeah. And there is another T code which is very important, BRF plus.
Okay.
So this is the T code which can be used to create a role-based workflows. Like suppose if we have created a workflow for planning user, right? So
Okay.
that
Yeah.
planning workflow step should allow user only to modify or change or edit all the fields with respect to planning only.
Okay.
So to do that, this is the standard T code which we have in SAP BRF plus.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And many of the organizations they are not maintaining certain data in MDG. I mean, this is something which even I am not very much sure like what exactly the reason behind that. There are certain fields or certain views which we maintain directly into ECC system, though the material is managed or governed in MDG. There could be a chance, there could be a reason like where business they doesn't want that particular field to be governed through MDG, so they can allow that field or that respective view to maintain directly into ECC system. That also possible and that also feasible in MDG system.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
when you are implementing, material master, it required less customization because, many of the features and fields have already been given by SAP team. So very few fields or less field required to be customized with respect to material master. Whereas for customers and vendor, there are many customization can be done. 'Cause, customers are different, we have a multiple or variety of customers and vendors. So, I mean, implementing materials is less, is comparatively easier than a customer and vendors. Because, customers and vendors require lot of customization.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and the Z field I've already explained. As per the business requirement, we can add Z fields in MDG, and if needed, it can be replicated into CD, or if not, we can disable that field.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is how implementation will work. And if you go through this document, I've shared you two documents.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, you should refer the second document, MDG 200. Here you will see all the implementation related, some technical terms like how the structure of SCP MDG, how what all the activities you need to do. So this document will help you to understand or give. If you'll read, at least if you'll read or go through once, you will get to know many things, even though which how what exactly it is, but you will get to know the technical background of that process, how MDG behaves. This
Okay.
document is very good. I mean, just read once. It has a 400 document, or maybe you need at least 2 days, not 2 days. Maybe you can finish in one day also. But at least go through this document so you will understand. It's not that difficult to understand. Even you can also do some implementation when customization is not required. Even I can
Okay.
also do. But whenever any customization required, we definitely need to get help from ABAP team.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and this is let me go through the interface. This is the standard interface of MDG.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so here, we have a different options, or in heading, you can see different objects, finished goods, uh, uh, supplier, raw. Based on your role, you will get to, or system will allow you to display all these options. If you have access
Okay.
only, then only you'll be able to see all these options.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So here, these are the some standard, options which you should know. My change request means where you need to take some action. Okay.
Okay.
And if you see here, we have these are all standard options like created by me. If you want to see like what all the requests you have created, then you have to select created by me. And if you want to know like where your action is required, where some ticket or some CR is pending for your action. If you want to know, then you need to select to be processed by me.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay, and some standard status which you should be aware of, with respect to MDG. When status is showing like changes to be executed, it means you have to input some data. I mean, you have access to change some data,
okay,
changes to be executed. This is very standard, terminology or standard status, which is used across the world, I believe. If there is no any customization, that is changes to be executed. And if you want to, if you and there is another status to be considered and approved. It means you just need to review and approve the request. You won't be able to edit any data if status is showing us to be considered to be reviewed and approved, to be considered and approved.
okay,
And if status is showing like final check approved, it means that is the last step of that CR. Can you see here final check to be performed? It means this is the last step. After this, CR won't go to next level.
okay.
Okay, here you can see to be considered and approved. It means here the person just need to review and approve the request.
Okay, okay,
Okay, and if status is showing as changes to be executed, it means here this user they need to fill some data.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and sometimes you will see some other status, some failure also. Sometimes, due to some technical issue, you will see status, the status got failed, something like that. Then there could be some technical issue, and within MDG also you can see like what exactly the reason why the CR got stuck into system.
okay.
And suppose if you all open any CR. There is another T code, Gana, that also required MDG IMG. This is also
Okay.
important T code for do any
Oh,
configuration or customization.
okay.
MDG IMG.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the interface. Yeah, in initial this is standard. This is just general information of request, not for master data.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here you can see who created the request, and if you want to know, if you want to see the workflow log, here we have an option to see workflow log. Here you will you'll get to see like where the CR is pending. And here you can see the CR is pending for DMO step. And if if you want to know the users, then you need to click over the multiple users. So here you can see all the users who can process this step.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So this is very standard. And so accidentally I closed my browser. Sorry.
Okay. 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 Please.
This is a standard dashboard. System is
Okay.
a bit slow. 1 second. Usually we'll get some options. Okay. This. Yeah. This is standard dashboard. If you want, I mean, here you can see in a different option.
Oh.
Search, Fini raw, create, Fini, create raw. All this option will appear over here. If you click, if you
Okay.
want to create, then you just need to click over here and you can start processing. But you
Okay.
should have the access. And if you
Okay.
want to see the CS, then my change request. This is standard, common for all the organizations, my change request, where you will see all the request where your action is needed. So if you that too also we have a different criteria. If you want to, you can see I haven't created any request. That's why this queue is blank.
Blank. Uh,
And if I want to see what all the actions are pending, then to be processed by me. And your default system will take, I guess, only 1 week data. So if you want, I mean, if any request raised before 15, though it is pending for your action, you won't be able to see over here. So to see that, you need to change this date, like
okay.
from date. So backdate, if you put backdate, then you'll see, you'll be able to see all the CRs which are pending for your action. And comparatively, it is slow tool
Yeah,
compared to ECC.
we know
Wherever you
that.
go,
Yes.
wherever you go, it is
Uh,
slow. And if any company is implementing MDG, initially, at least for 1 year, you will get this. The users will
issue.
complain. You will get a lot of escalation and complaints.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, so here, suppose if I'll open any CR. Hmm.
The moment of time, Deepak, can you check your personal email? Is there any reply comes because she doesn't know your email ID, right?
You see it, no response. No, no.
Okay, okay. Maybe you can call after this meeting. Yeah.
Okay. So here, if you want to see like what all the change has been done through the CR, that you need to check. You need to click on this change document.
Okay.
So this is also standard and globally. And
Okay.
here in display, you need to select change attributes. Sorry, attribute changes.
Okay.
So you will see all the changes or all the data which have been entered.
Okay.
Can you see
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
the field and the old value and new value? Because old value is blank, which is default. And there are certain fields where system auto populates the value. And if user want to change that also they can change.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And generally, when we process the request, if we have a SOP, we validate starting from, this data like share data, we will validate, then we'll go to plan data and then we'll go to sales data to validate whether, all the information has been filled correctly or not. Correct. This is
Yeah.
very lengthy way, but Infosys people, how they used to validate, they have created one macro. So
Okay.
they are extracting this data in Excel sheet
Okay.
and they are applying some VLOOKUP because as per the SOP they have applied some rules and they are just pasting the data and that Excel sheet is giving all the information whether this request is good to process or if something is missing then within Excel itself you will get some error.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So this is also another one. Some companies they are using that mechanism to validate because human can do mistakes, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
to
Of
avoid,
course.
that, then you can develop some, Excel sheet where, Excel itself validates, as per the SOP, whether, all the data is filled correctly or not.
Okay.
Okay, this is Mdg. And if you scroll to your left, you will see the request. If you want to know how, as per the request, who change what data, then you can see that, you can do filter. Mm. And here, if you want to know the plans, here you can see like what all the plans they have added. If you want to see filter out some specific plan, that also you can do. And some specific
Okay.
distribution channel, that also you can do. Okay, this is my change request. And suppose if you want to search any specific number, CR number, suppose if you received one day CR and someone asks you to search where the CR is pending. So what you need to do, we have an option display change request. This is also
Uh-huh.
standard and common. Here you just need to enter the CR number and you need to remove this check mark because if you keep this check mark and if these CR already been approved or final check approved, then system won't show any result. So
Okay.
if just to avoid that, you should always uncheck. So you will, even though CR got approved, you will see or system will show you the result. Okay, this is the CR which is pending. Okay. And if you want, you can open the CR same way you can check the workflow log and check the change document.
Okay.
So your work item is also there. You can see what all the workflow steps are pending. Finance, QM, and sales.
Yeah.
These are the standard features which have been provided by SAP. And suppose if you have any material code and if you want to know like what all the change request raised for on behalf of that number, so you need to go to display change documents.
Okay.
If it is material customer vendor, based on that, you should select that, check this option. And if you have any material code, uh, 5, continue. Suppose if you will see all the change request raised on behalf of this material code.
Okay.
So this is the feature of this option.
Okay. I want to press enter then, or maybe.
Yeah, continue. Here we have option continue. Here you can
Okay.
see no data set. Let me check some other material code 1 second.
If I have two
Uh,
materials to check,
yeah,
in
here
a,
we have an option multiple selection. That also
oh,
you can do.
okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it can enable, but some companies they don't use this option to check multiple chain, but you can do that. And same way, all these features are available in the ECC portal of MDG.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this is custom, the custom T code. I mean, SAP doesn't give you any standard T code to check workflow log of MDG. So generally, you know, and yeah, I mean, in my previous organization, so they have developed a custom T code to check workflow log of all the CRs. It's a Z T code. Suppose if I want to know, suppose
Uh-huh.
I end to end SLA if I want to calculate, and I have some list of CS and I want to check how many how long it took, and like which request, which workflow step took long time. So by using this we can calculate that, and I strongly believe Huna might be using this T code only. 1 second, I'll show you one. I'll
Uh-huh.
open some data so you will get some better understanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. If I'll open these many CRs, I know. So here we can enter multiple CS and execute. So by using this workflow, here you can see all the steps and their
Okay.
start time and end time.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay, by using which we can easily prepare the end-to-end SLA, and which step took long time.
Okay. Nice.
So this is custom T code. I mean, SAP doesn't give you any standard T code. So your organization can develop, ABAP team can develop this too, or
Okay.
this T
Okay.
code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super.
Yeah, and there are, I mean, creation of user, right? SU01 is to create user.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah, and creation role is different, and assigning role in MDG is different. So if you want to assign any role, there is a T code called PPOME. This is which we use, PPOME. Okay, I don't have authorization, so I'm not able to use this. But if I want to
Okay.
check the how it displays, so there is a T code for display of PPOME is PPOSW. So based on the country, based on the position, or based on the user, you will see all the users. Suppose if I want to check what all the workflow steps we have designed or defined for India. Okay, so I'll type India. So here you will see these many types of business and workflows have been configured in system.
Oh. Okay.
Materials, customer, material fee, deco, PCVR, different types of business. And if I want to see like Fini for India, just double click. Here you will see two different types of materials. One is deco and one is PCVR.
Yeah.
Suppose if you want to see PCVR, just double click PCVR. Here you will see all the workflow step. And if you want to know the specific user whom the workflow steps has been assigned, so these are the users.
Okay.
Okay, and one important like we never create PPME for shared data requester or marketing requester.
Okay. Any
Okay,
specific reason?
cause they are the one who initiates the request. System
Uh,
never route any request to that person, or it doesn't make any sense to having them in a workflow step, right? because they
Okay,
are
yeah,
the
yeah,
one who are initiating. This workflow step will help only to route that request to that specific person.
correct, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Correct. So it's not required. That is why shared data requester and or you can call them a marketing requester. We'll never do PPME. We'll just do SU01 where we just assign the rules.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay. And
Fine.
there are some standard table if you want to know with respect to users. I can tell you because material customer and vendor you must be well aware of it, but I'm not sure whether about user management.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to know USR02, here you will see or you will get to know all the users who have MDG access or SAP access, not MDG, SAP access.
SAP access. Okay, okay.
USR02.
Okay,
This
so
is standard.
particularly, okay, particularly MDP system, how many people are having that, so you can able to find, right?
Any ACP system, not only MDG, any
Okay,
ACP.
okay,
Even
okay,
if you go to SPD or ECC, this is the standard table, USR02.
okay, okay. Got it.
And if you want to know what all the roles, based on the roles, if you want to see roles and roles of any users, not roles of any users, role description, like what roles we are having. So to search that, we have a AGR1251.
Okay,
Okay, and if you want to see any specific T code, what all the roles having that T code. Suppose if I want to know how many roles are having MM01 access. So this is standard. You need to, execute AGR1251. Then in object, you need to specify S underscore T code, and in value, you need to enter MM01. So
okay,
here you will see these many roles are having MM01 access. Okay.
yeah, got it.
Okay, so this way, maybe you can do some validation, when we'll see, if any users are having unauthorized access or not. So
Yeah,
by
yeah.
using this table, you can do that.
Okay,
And if you want to know, any users who are having or what all the roles, then AGR underscore users. So here, if I'll enter my ID, here I will get to know what all the roles have been assigned to my ID, my role. Okay.
okay, okay,
And same way, if you have any roles where you want to see how many people got that role, so you just need to enter that role and execute. So here you will get to see all the users who are having this role. Okay, these are very standard tables which you can use to do some validation or any some research from your end.
okay,
And here one, more, 2, 5, 5, 5. Suppose if we want to know some specific country specific role, how many roles have been assigned to India. So that in this case, 1 to 5 to you need to use, and in value you need to enter IN.
okay,
So here you will see there are 113 roles which have been assigned to India.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Indian sales role. This way you can do some checkpoint from your side with respect to users. And there are many things that I mean, as per the requirement, I do research, I do investigate and validate. But if you can give me some scenario, I'll try to give you some solution. Do you want to?
I don't have anything in my hand now, Deepak, but just want to know the overview about MDG. That's why. But
Oh,
if I
and
have
and
any doubts,
uh,
in my future company,
yeah,
if anything comes, I try to connect. I don't know
yeah,
whether
sure, you
my
can call
my
me.
teams will connect with you, this your teams or not.
Sure, sure.
Maybe I'll check and let you know. Then okay.
Okay, okay. And there is another T code which is important, DRF out.
Okay.
So this T code we use to generate IDOC. Suppose if I have made some changes in MDP system and I want to move that change into CD system,
Uh-huh.
how I can do that? By using DRF out. Okay. If you'll
Yeah.
execute DRF out T code, this is the standard options you will see wherever
Uh-huh.
you'll go. There could be some changes, but maximum you will see this way only.
Uh-huh.
And very important is like, you need to always choose manual replication filter criteria. So
Oh,
here you need to enter that specific material code which you want to push into, or where you want to push changes from MDPs to CD. And
Okay.
suppose if you'll miss to enter anything, then system will consider all the data you want to push from MDP to CD. So there
Oh
could
God.
be a possibility that system may get crashed because the data is very huge and system starts processing all the IDOCs from MDP to CD. So this
Okay.
the T code is very minor, but you have to use in very precise way.
Okay.
A
So
specific mental like
okay. So
one,
which
two, or
okay, which field I want to choose, only that field need to give the data then.
yeah. So here we have option manual replication filter criteria. And if you're missed and if you'll directly execute,
That's
then
it. Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Maybe,
Okay.
but still you can, there is an option to stop the transaction here.
Yeah, yeah. It
Sometimes,
showing it.
maybe, if accidentally, if you executed and if you want to stop, you can stop the transaction by clicking over here. But if you missed, and so, sometimes, our systems are not that good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, this function won't work. So there could be a, possibility of big, mess.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. And
Fine,
if you
Deepak.
want to know the IDOC, suppose I'll open one more here. So how to identify IDOC? Here we have an option called relationships.
Okay.
Here you will see all the inbound and IDOC, outbound IDOC. So generally in MDP we have IDOC outbound only because we are pushing data from MDP to CD. Here you will see the number, the IDOC number. And if you want to validate whether it reached to CD or not, so same way you can open the same material code in CD system and you can check the relation and you can check whether it reached to CD or not.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, these are all standard functionality of SAP.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Deepak. Fine.
and it's just an overview because explaining whole MDG will take long time. A complete course.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Of course. Just to know about the overview, it's okay for me then. Yeah.
And that this document is very useful, Gana. Even I'm also reading that document. I've just started reading that document. It's very useful. And if possible, you can share that document to me on my Gmail ID. Hello, Gana.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm watching. Oh, sorry. I mute. I just mute. I'm speaking. Yes. Yes. I will share that document in your personal mail ID also then. Okay.
Okay, 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 Gana. And anytime if you need any help or any guidance, please feel free to call me. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 Yeah. Thank you. Please go for the lunch now then. Okay.
Okay, Gana. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah.